Welcome back to Fat Butcher Rips. Today, have a PSA reveal. Been waiting a little while, so looking forward to see even what's in here. I forget all of what I said, so if you're ready, it's not rip, but let's take a look. Okay, so we have 20 cards back from PSA. This was a bulk order. There were 21 cards in the order. PSA has a new offers system, and I took one offer. It was the only baseball card that I just had laying around that I ended up sending. That was like a PSA 9 Max Scherzer rookie. I got 13 bucks for it, so not great. I sent this on September the 2nd, got it back I think today, right? The 4th. So basically 3 months, which as things are going, not that bad for PSA. It's 3 to 4 months. And this was, 3, so about what I would have expected. If I remember right, this is going to be some stuff from like when I opened Extended from last year. I think there's some Blackhawks PC kind of cards. I can see the card on top is a Wyatt Kaiser. I'm not grading that to make money. So as I said, there were 21 cards. It was $450 all in for grading and shipping and everything else combined. So roughly like $21.50 per card. I think the price has gone up since then. I think it's like 22 bucks before all that other good stuff. So I'm gonna try, see if I can, figure this out. Try to kind of, as I haven't looked at these grades at all. I haven't looked at the pop counts. I haven't done any of that or any of the values. I'll try and put some of that information up and see if I can't have an idea of whether I made money or not, which will largely come down to, I think there's a Macklin Celebrini Young Guns canvas in here. That'll probably make or break the order, most likely. Congrats to everyone. Cup day was yesterday as I'm filming this, and congrats to everyone who opened and got good stuff. And hopefully, even if you didn't make money, you found cards you really liked. I watched a lot of it getting opened. It's a very fun product to watch, even if the price meant that I needed to kind of sit this one out for the moment. So lots of that out of the way. Let's start taking a look, and we're going to start with a PC card right off the bat. This is, speaking of the cup, from last year's The Cup. It's a Wyatt Kaiser patch auto of some sort, right? I think so. I think it was like the 24. I think it was a gold auto. I could be wrong. I probably am. Like I say, it's been months since I sent it, and it's been even longer since I opened it. So, not sure what the pop count is. Okay, there we go. Autograph patch gold foil. So for any of these thicker cards, I'm looking for a 9. 9 at best. Their 10s are really, really hard on these thicker cards. So, jeez. All right, well, I am shocked that this is a PSA 10. So I did think it had a shot, but I just assume all thick cards are gonna 9 or less with these guys. So the fact that it's a 10, really, really happy with that. I'll put it on a stand for the moment. I don't think Wyatt Kaiser's gonna, he's number 1 in my heart, but maybe not in everybody else's estimation. So next is an SP Game Used Nathan MacKinnon. This was gold to 10. It's interesting in that it's his all-star jersey on the image, both images, but it was like his true Avs jersey in the patch. This is one I've had sitting around. It looked nice. I decided why not just try and grade it. Maybe it'll help it be a little bit more liquid. So that's what it looks like. Oh, it's out of 5. I thought it was out of 10 for some reason. Even better. And 9. Okay, so this is again one of those thicker cards. 9 is about what you should expect and what I was expecting. So I'm happy that it's in the slab. It looks great. It's to 5. If it was autoed, I think we'd be dealing with a really nice one. As it is, the patch is pretty good. Okay, so our first Macklin Celebrini is I sent 2 of these die cuts. One's a red, one's a, kind of the base gold. I remember thinking they looked pretty good, but these die cuts are, I did, if I remember back to my first PSA reveal video, I sent a handful of these. No one else was grading them. The grades came back like, I think I got maybe 1 or 2 9s and a bunch of 8s and 7s. It was a mess. Though, a couple of them were Wallstedts, and I was ahead of the curve on Wallstedt, I guess. Who knew? All right, so this is the base. This is the gold. It looks pretty clean. Gem Mint 10. Well, that's a nice little card. Again, I haven't looked. I don't know the pop count. Don't know the value. But I bet that's probably fetching $60 in a PSA 10, maybe. Since it's early, he gets a stand. All right, so this by default means it's the red. Same deal. Lots of issues with die cuts usually. This is a 6. I had a feeling on this one. I didn't have a feeling it was going to be a 6. I thought it was going to be like an 8. If I remember, maybe I'll have to take a real look. Maybe there's some sort of like notch in it or something, but it didn't look all that bad. Okay, so we've got a rough one there. That would have been nice, but again, not something I was expecting to get anything great on. Before I threw the baseball card in, or even after, I thought I was still short. I miscounted, so I'd already thrown this in the order. This is the superscript. I think it's a 25 out of this year's MVP. There's no way I would typically grade anything MVP, even numbered to 25. But, these extended cards have been sitting here for a while. Actually, I took a chance on a few cards I wouldn't have sent, including this red. So, because I just wanted to get the other ones out. But it does look very nice. It is, what is that, 21? Is that 21? 24 of 25? 24 of 25. Gem Mint 10. Well, look. Is it super valuable? Who knows? I don't even know how I'm going to comp this thing, because who else is grading MVP cards? Probably not very many people. And probably for good reason, if I'm honest. But I'll take that. If you're going to send it, you got to gem it. And that's the only reason I did send it, is because I thought that had a really good chance. All right, so this one, I might have been stretching a bit. It's the Counter Geeky to 65 Cosmic out of OPG Platinum. I opened a bunch. I graded, I don't know if there's any other grading candidates that I had at all. I think this might be the only thing I sent. And even this I was a little sketchy on, because it just does not look like these are going to grade well. But anyways, it's a Cosmic to 65. I thought Geeky has some upside, and we got the 10. Okay, again, this is another one. I haven't looked it up, but I'm pretty sure it needs to be a 10 for the cost of grading to really be justified. So at some point, some of these will switch, because hopefully other 10s that are a little bit cheekier will replace them. All right, so this is out of Series 2, and this is one of the kind of short print legends, and this is PC for me. Eddie the Eagle, Blackhawks, Legends canvas. Just love the image on that. I mean, this just is amazing looking. I'm really hoping for the 10, but honestly, whatever it gets, I'm just happy to have it and have it in a case. So, and we got the 10. I really love that. I mean, I'll probably put value numbers up for it. I really don't care. Like, I honestly could care less what the value is, because this one's going nowhere. We'll take an MVP down and we'll put the Eagle up as it should be. This one, again, I opened a good amount of SP, authentic, and I don't think I sent much else other than this to grade, because, down here was a little rough on almost all of them, if not the front corners. I mean, it was rough stuff. So this, I believe, is to 99 on the Connor Bedard. It's a year, 2? Connor Bedard, 55 of 99. When I sent it, it was a much more dubious proposition, where if it didn't 10, I was in real trouble. Like, I might at least be able to break even or slightly above on a 9, if that's the way it goes. And it's a 9. I'll look if I can make a buck or two. Like, this is something I'd be willing to move. This isn't like my PC of PCs. as far as Bedard cards would go. But if I'm not really going to make any money, I'd be happy to keep it. So another 9, that's fine. Honestly, I didn't want to send any SP Authentic because it just didn't seem like it would grade well. Things that do look like they might grade well is Allure. I was not a fan of Allure this year, but I did pull this Lane Hudson. This is one of those where it's like, hey, you got to fill out the order. If you 10, you'll probably get some value. I do think I got an offer on this. So I think I actually have seen the grade, and I've just blanked it because my memory is falling apart. But I got an offer from them that I did not take, but it seemed like they really undersold me on the offers. And I'll talk about that right at the end as well. So Lane Hudson, Gem Mint 10. Yeah, that makes sense. This looked really clean all the way through. I don't think there's probably a ton of value. Maybe there is. Maybe I'm mistaken. I don't know why I'm stacking 10s with my 6. I'm going to put that 6 a little off to the side. But yeah, that's all right. We're getting into it now. This is the CELEBRINI Young Guns Canvas. This is kind of the card. I think I've seen this selling, if it's a 10, in the neighborhood of $400 or $500 if I try to recall. So look, a lot of these things are nice. A lot of these things, I'll make a few bucks. Cards like this kind of cover a lot of sins. I'm hoping, I thought it looked good. Now that I'm seeing it in hand, I don't remember this corner looking like that. That's worrying me. I don't think that's maybe that's part of the image. I don't know. All right, well, let's rip the Band-Aid, guys. I mean, so cool. Skating out, I mean, may throw a picture up. The Bedard year where he's holding his own card versus this is, I mean, there's no comparison. This looks so much cooler. And we got Gem Mint 10. That is massive for this order. You can see I graded some goofy stuff. Wyatt Kaiser cards. We're about to see a Nolan Allen that got graded. So this makes all of those PC cards possible. I love Celebrini. I think he's a great player. I think he's going to be a great player. And I think, these things are going to be valuable. But I also don't collect sharks. I am a very particular collector. It's Blackhawks only. And, that is just who I am. So this is a great result. Honestly, yeah, that needs to come down. We'll go ahead and put this guy up. Awesome hit. Okay, back to the goofy stuff. Nolan Allen, I believe this is his Future Watch auto. I have no illusions that this will be anything probably other than a 9. And of course, it's a Gem Mint 10. Of course. Whatever. The Kaiser and this, and honestly, even the Belfour, I had doubts about, and they came back 10s each and every one. I know that Connor Geeky is probably more valuable, but not to me. The Blackhawks are where it's at for me. So really excited. This is from Update, or Extended, I guess. This is the Gold Beehive of MICHKOV. When I sent this, preseason, I was more stoked on it than I am now as he's struggling, though I do think he had an assist or two last night. So maybe he's starting to shake off the rust. But it was a little bit maybe top to bottom, but otherwise, I just thought these were really beautiful cards. The gold beehives look amazing. So let's see how we did. Gem Mint 10, awesome. I thought this one looked great. At this point, given the start to his year, maybe this isn't a home run necessarily, but I think I'll still come out ahead by getting the 10. This one was maybe not PC for me, but I really wanted to grade it because I just thought it looked awesome. This is this I believe is from Extended. Yeah, it is. But this is another one of like the Legends short print canvases, similar to the Belfour from Series 2. But what are we doing, guys? That is an amazing image. So I decided let's give it a shot, and it 10. We all know, or maybe we don't, but I'm assuming most of us know, canvas cards are much easier to grade. And yeah, this continued that trend. It just looks amazing. I'm sure I'll have no trouble moving that and making a few bucks on it. But I'll probably hang on to it for a little while just because I enjoy the way it looks. It's not long-term PC for me because, you know, it's a Shark, it's not a Blackhawk, but it's pretty great. This one I know, and the next one I know, because these were things I had offers on, and the offers were frankly too low. And that's one of the things, you know, the PSA offers, it seems like people really dug it when it first came out like a month ago, and the offers were kind of crazy good. These were like 65, 70% of comps, and this is a PSA 10, Will Smith Young Guns. And obviously Will Smith is having a great season, so I don't see any reason to give this away at a big discount to my friends over at PSA. I'll take it back, please. So I was really happy with this one. This was another one where, you know, last year's Young Guns, the pop counts, you know, gem rates are like 35% on these Young Guns. They are not great. I had tried my luck on some earlier Young Guns. I think I got like 2 out of 5 were gems. So getting this one and getting the next one, Lecker Mackie, as gem mint 10s was really cool. I was really happy with that. And obviously I kind of poured over them to make sure as much as possible that they were in good shape. I got an offer on this as well, and the offer was pretty weak sauce. This is not a huge card. He was maybe the second biggest name in extended behind Will Smith, certainly when it came out. And so I sent it off. I'll make a few bucks on that, but I won't make a mint. This is another kind of PC-ish card. This is a Bedard to 399 out of SPX. This is the Finites. Silver. And yeah, sorry, quick break for a cat removal. Anyways, SPX Finite Silver to 399. Wasn't really sure what it would grade. I just thought it looked nice. I was a fan of SPX, so decided why not give it a shot. And it's 10. Wow. I don't know that there's probably too much of this finite that's been graded, so that's pretty nice. So on to another SP Authentic PC card, Denis Savard, holofoils, legends. I remember, you know, when I pulled this, I really loved it. I don't know, man. There's a lot of opportunities for bad stuff to go on with these, but we got the 10. Look at that. Man, that's a beautiful card. Holofoils are not very loved, and SP Authentic is essentially, you're paying for, it's like essentially buying a box of clear cut, except you get a couple of autos and then a whole bunch of other cards that frankly nobody values. I value this card. I think this looks amazing. Very excited that I got the 10 on that. Speaking of SPX, we have Sebastian Cossa. This is the gold variation of his rookie. He was in the kind of the high number or short printed rookies where Celebrini was. Certainly Celebrini was the bigger name. But I actually think Cossa is a sneaky buy if you're a goalie fan. He has been tearing it up in the AHL this year. I'm sure I'll put his stats up, but off the top of my head, I think it's like a 1.5 goals against and a 940 something save percentage. He's been pretty amazing. So can't imagine this has a crazy pop count. I guess we'll see, but I'm hoping for the 10. I think if I 10, I'll probably make a few bucks. If it's a 9, I don't know if I'll even be able to move it. It's a 10. All right, so man, I've got to get a case of SPX at some point. I loved the product when I opened it the first time, and taking another look at some of the cards, I still think they look pretty great. So this one I don't have high hopes for grading wise, but I thought it was really worth a shot. And again, I was much more high on it when it was leaving than when it returned. It's amazing what 3 months can do to your perceptions of a player. But this is the Matvei Michkov Pond Hockey out of OPG Platinum. So the back looks great. The front, who knows? These are usually pretty dicey. The centering, because of these little lines, it made it so I didn't really want to grade any of these for the most part, because I just assumed the centering was always going to be an issue. But centering didn't look too bad here, and I didn't see scratches, even though I know there's probably scratches. But if we get a 9, we'll make money. If we get a 10, that would be a big boost. So, and we got the 10. I'm shocked. I am shocked. That is amazing. That's a huge win. I don't know who to. Yeah, we're gonna take Nolan Allen down, I guess. I like Nolan Allen a lot, but Michkov Pond Hockey 10. That's tough to be. And we close it on a real banger. It's a Rasmus Dahlin Swagnificent. Should I have graded this? Under no circumstances should I have graded it. If it gets a 10, I will still probably lose money. But I was running out of cards to send, and honestly, it was the Michkov and it was the Celebrini. I really wanted to get those two graded. And I just knew, if I wait any longer, I wouldn't be getting them back this year probably. And even as it was when I sent them, I thought I might not get them back this year. So, all that being said, we close it with the Rasmus Dahlin Swagnificent, which, look, it's rare. It's probably very rare graded, because no one else is fool enough to grade this thing. I mean, look at the blue steel he's given us. How could you not grade that? And it's a mid-9. Okay, well, look, that's the least of our problems. We overall did much better than I would have expected. So what I plan to do is go check some of what the kind of pop counts and values and things like that are. And I'll do a quick recap at that time, talking about kind of how it turned out for me, what I think went well, what I think didn't. What I think went really well is this. The gem rate is crazy. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I had a 5th card that I sold that was a 9 on their offers platform, which means 16 out of 21 gem mint 10s, including a thick card that has no business usually getting a 10, and that Pond Hockey, which I honestly thought it was going to get a 9, and when I sent it, I thought that was still good value. So I'm going to do a little bit of research, and I will circle back around to do a quick recap right now. All right, quick recap. I ended up doing pretty well here. So it looks like created about $847 of quote unquote value, right? And that's once you take away the grading costs. Obviously these cards weren't free. But they were kind of just sitting in boxes I'd opened. I'd sold through. I sell basically everything I open. I try to, at least. I'm hanging on to a few of the Blackhawks cards I like. I like opening to open and see cool stuff and find some Blackhawks cards to keep. But in general, I do try to sell everything. So these, weren't free by any stretch, but it's hard for me to pin down what an acquisition cost is. So setting that aside, did pretty well in creating 847. Now, take another about 150 off, because you know, some of that value was created by cards like, you know, the Belfour and, you know, the Savard and the Wyatt Kaiser over here. Those cards are not going to get sold. So yes, technically they created value, but not really, because they're not going to get moved. So of the stuff that's going to get moved, it's about $700, which is still great. I mean, the Celebrini and the Michkov, and I don't have him up here. Actually, the not Lecker Mackey, but Will Smith actually created the second most value. But just, you know, these were the cards that moved me. So all in all, 75% gem rate. I gemmed the cards that I was most interested in gemming, including a couple that I didn't expect to. I touched on it a little bit. I'm going to put it up here on the screen, what the offers look like. And you'll see that these offers are not close to what, you know, the current going rate is for some of these cards. And, you know, for me, it just didn't make any sense to take them up on it. If the offers were closer to, say, 80% even of eBay comps, I probably would think about it, because, you know, obviously there's no fees involved. That, you know, it's money put directly into your account from PSA. You don't have to do a thing. It's very easy to do, but it has to make more financial sense for me to do it, at least. So hopefully those offers do better. I've got 3 very small orders plus 1 sizable order. I sent quite a few Series 1 Young Guns and things of that nature. So they were received and have not been checked in, and it's been 6 weeks. So those may not get here for a little while, the way it's going. So, but that wraps it up. I appreciate you checking this out. Again, super excited about the value, but even more so, you know, I'm super excited about some of these Blackhawks cards that came back even better than I would have expected. So big win for me on that. So appreciate you checking this out. I have a little CELEBRINI hunt that's on its way that I think is a sneaky good value approach to CELEBRINI, but who knows? Maybe I'll be wrong, and we'll see. I also have kind of a blast from the past that I'm going to do that, you know, won't be everybody's cup of tea, but as a Blackhawks fan, it was something I wanted to do. And then, you know, in a couple weeks, I think I have a box of Ingrained or whatever. So a lot of things to keep us busy. So I've said so a lot, but here we are. If you get a chance, please comment, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.